Today we speak, we're talking about a country like Norway that we went all the way to learn from. They've been able to accrue a sovereign wealth fund, as we are talking, in excess of $1 trillion. And as leaders, our priority must always be the future of our country. But it looks like, because of the desperate need for politics, at the moment, all we think about is how to survive and how to win elections. Ironically, stands at 419 million. It's almost as if the figure itself wanted to scream that something is going on here that amounts almost to a 419.
From 2016 till now, indeed, we have managed to prove that right here in this country, you can find resources to pay for the free senior high school program. And if it is so that about 60% of the annual budget funding amount is allocated to free senior high school education, what is wrong with it? What is wrong with it? It is a policy decision of the administration that it believes that every Ghanaian child of senior high school going age should benefit from at least a drop of Ghana's oil. What is wrong with that? What is wrong with children from a particular part of the country who may not necessarily benefit from the infrastructure that you want to see in one place or the other? What is wrong with those children having an opportunity to go to senior high school because oil resources are being applied in that area? It is a clear policy choice, Mr. Speaker, and that choice is unashamedly made by this administration, and we will continue with it accordingly, Mr. Speaker.
I am not debating whether free SHS is good or not. That is not what I'm doing. Mr. Speaker, I don't want to go there. The people of Ghana will determine that. All I'm saying is that these funds are finite, and that as a house, all of us should begin to think that the year where these revenues begin to dwindle, how are we going to sustain whatever we are spending on? And I think that is a legitimate call. I think that is a good call. Mr. Speaker, there are other speakers. And so with your permission, I think I should be winding up, Mr. Speaker. I just want to make a call that, Mr. Speaker, we should ensure that we utilize our resources judiciously. Indeed, we have even reduced the gas price from 8.6 to 7.4, and yet we are unable to pay. We are building debts and accumulating debts. One day, Mr. Speaker, we shall come back to this house and say that, look, there's this huge debt, so let's institute this levy or this tax to deal with that. From the way and manner in which these resources are being managed, Mr. Speaker, I conclude by saying that the Akufo-Addo administration has failed woefully and the performance has been abysmal. Or your opposition, you have to oppose sometimes. But please, for heaven's sake, investment in educating people, human capital, for potential export, if you care to know, that is possible. It's not chop. It's not consumption. It is not. Otherwise, some of us, including you, your parents may have borrowed to educate you. The president is saying everybody should go. Hello? If you want to pay for free senior high school, you're welcome. There's a fund. You can contribute. No problem. Free senior high school is a necessity. And it guarantees Ghana's security for tomorrow. I can assure you. Recently, somebody went to a house in Carnation and got bitten by a dog. Those that pick metal waste. He didn't know. Beware of dogs you could not breathe. Go and see. Because of the investment we are doing today, in 5 to 10 years' time, no child will be bitten by a dog because they can read beware of dogs.
Mr. Speaker, it is not for nothing that the oil revenue is heavily regulated. Mr. Speaker, apart from extraction industry that will regulate revenues and expenditure that is accrued, Mr. Speaker, tax revenues are oftentimes not regulated in terms of its expenditure. Mr. Speaker, it is not for nothing. The reason being because this kind of revenues deplete over a period of time. And so it's important for us to regulate. And that is why all over the world, countries are moving towards regulating the use of oil revenue and even other mineral revenues. Mr. Speaker, clearly, Clearly, we are seeing a system where we are using our oil revenue for consumption. And for that reason, Mr. Speaker, we've often said that there is the need for us to revert to the status quo. The status quo, Mr. Speaker, has always been that we use a chunk of this oil revenue for the purposes of investment that can pay for itself. But unfortunately, where we are going, we are using it for consumption. Mr. Speaker, we have never said anywhere, that this part of the House, this part of this House, are against the free senior high school. Mr. Speaker, what we have said is that there are other people that can pay, and so there is the need for us to implement some form of means testing. Mr. Speaker, this view has heavily been supported by the Minister of Finance. The Minister of Finance is on record to have said that those who can pay for it should be given the opportunity to pay.
Absolutely.
And